The village in Kasai Central is an oasis of serenity, its red earth paths winding through lush greenery, the air filled with the rhythmic hum of life. The Luba people thrive here, bound by traditions passed down through generations. Their belief in the spiritual forces that govern the land is unshakable, and the harmony of their community depends on strict adherence to sacred customs. Mwadi, known for her grace and wisdom, is the embodiment of Luba femininity. Her beauty is the subject of songs, her smile capable of softening the hardest hearts. Her marriage to Nkongolo is a union celebrated with grand ceremony. Nkongolo, a master hunter, provides for the village, his skills ensuring that no one goes hungry. Their love is like the rain, nourishing, steady, and essential to life. But beneath this facade of bliss lies an unspoken tension. Mwadi's heart has grown restless. While she loves Nkongolo, she yearns for something that his stoic strength cannot provide. A spark, a fire. This longing draws her to Mwamba, a trader with a silver tongue and a knack for storytelling. Mwamba's visits bring exotic wares and tales of distant lands, igniting a flame in Mwadi that she cannot extinguish. Sonokuta, because your melanin deserves the best. Visit us today at Sonokuta Ai. Their meetings begin innocently. Mwamba lingers a moment too long as he hands her a piece of fabric, his eyes saying what his lips dare not. Mwadi finds excuses to visit the market when she knows he will be there, her pulse quickening at the sight of him. Soon, their stolen glances give way to whispered conversations in the shadows, and finally, forbidden trysts beneath the moonlight. The elders, keepers of the village's moral fabric, sense the shift. They speak in hushed tones about the balance of the community and the sacredness of marriage. They warn of Tshibindi, the ancient curse said to fall upon those who defy the sanctity of union and disrupt the spiritual harmony of the land. Tshibindi, they say, is not merely a punishment, but a force that consumes everything in its path, sparing no one. Mwadi and Mwamba dismiss these warnings, lost in their passion. They believe their love is too powerful to be bound by earthly rules, unaware that their actions have set a chain of events into motion. The spirits of the ancestors, ever vigilant, begin to stir, their displeasure manifesting in small signs. A sudden drought, unexplained illnesses, and the once harmonious village descending into discord. As the community grows restless, Nkongolo senses that something is amiss. He notices Mwadi's distant gaze, her laughter that no longer rings true. He begins to suspect that the harmony in his marriage and the village has been fractured. Torn between love and anger, he seeks guidance from the elders, setting the stage for a confrontation that will reveal secrets and unleash the full wrath of Tshibindi. The tranquil village, once a haven, now teeters on the brink of chaos. The spirits demand retribution, and the Luba people prepare for the inevitable storm. For when the balance is broken, Tshibindi does not forgive. The night is heavy with the scent of damp earth and the hum of nocturnal creatures. Under a sky blanketed by stars, Mwadi and Mwamba meet in their secret grove, the only witnesses to their forbidden love being the swaying trees and the whispering wind. They speak in hushed tones, their laughter subdued but radiant with passion. They are blind to the faint silhouette watching from the shadows, a figure cloaked in a woven shawl, her sharp eyes gleaming like embers in the moonlight. The watcher is Kabuya, an elderly woman respected throughout the village for her deep connection to the spiritual world. Her life has been a tapestry of visions and wisdom, her counsel sought in times of uncertainty. Kabuya was on her way back from gathering herbs when she stumbled upon the lovers. As she watches, a sense of dread washes over her. The betrayal unfolding before her is not just a personal sin. It is a wound inflicted on the fabric of the community, a call to the spirits that cannot go unanswered. That night, Kabuya returns to her modest hut at the edge of the village. She lights the sacred fire, its flames crackling with an almost sentient intensity. She places a bundle of cassava leaves into a carved wooden bowl, whispers incantations in the ancient tongue, and scatters the leaves over the flames. The fire flares, turning an unnatural green, and a low, mournful sound reverberates through the hut. The spirits speak. Their message is clear and chilling. Tshibau, the curse of Tshibindi, has been summoned. They reveal the path of destruction that lies ahead if the transgression remains unaddressed. The curse will first touch Mwadi, threatening her unborn child. If she continues her betrayal, the child may die during childbirth, or worse, Mwadi herself may become barren, a fate considered worse than death in Luba society. Nkongolo, the innocent husband, may also face the wrath of the spirits, his life at risk for the sins of his wife. The spirits hint at further calamities, deformities, sickness, and even death spreading throughout the village, as the community is held responsible for failing to uphold their sacred customs. Kabuya is overcome with sorrow and fear. She knows the spirits do not issue empty threats. Tshibau is not a simple punishment. It is a reckoning, a force that consumes indiscriminately until balance is restored. Gathering her strength, she prepares to confront Mwadi, hoping to avert the catastrophe. The next evening, as darkness settles over the village, Kabuya approaches Mwadi at the well. The young woman is startled by the old woman's grave demeanor. Kabuya seizes the moment, speaking with urgency and conviction. "Mwadi," she begins, her voice trembling but resolute. "You tread a dangerous path. The spirits have spoken to me. Your betrayal will bring ruin not only to you, but to all of us. You must stop this madness before it is too late." Mwadi stiffens, her heart racing with a mixture of guilt and defiance. "Old woman," she says, forcing a laugh to mask her unease. "Your stories belong to another time. I'm not a child to be frightened by tales of curses and spirits." Kabuya's eyes flash with frustration. "Do not mistake my words for tales, Mwadi. Tshibau is real. The spirits do not forgive easily, and their wrath will fall upon you, your child, and this village. I beg you, end this affair. Confess to your husband and seek the forgiveness of the ancestors." But Mwadi, blinded by her infatuation with Mwamba and emboldened by the secrecy of their affair, dismisses Kabuya's warnings. "You speak of things you do not understand, old woman. Leave me be." Kabuya watches helplessly as Mwadi walks away, her defiance echoing like a challenge to the spirits. The elder returns to her hut, her heart heavy with the burden of what is to come. She knows that the spirits are patient, but relentless. The curse has already been set in motion, and unless Mwadi heeds the warning, the village will soon feel the weight of Tshibau's wrath. The air grows thick with foreboding, the village seemingly holding its breath. Signs of the spirit's displeasure begin to surface. Crops wilt inexplicably. A young child falls ill without cause. And the once vibrant songs of the birds are replaced by an eerie silence. The stage is set for the spirits to unleash their fury, and Kabuya can only pray that Mwadi will come to her senses before it is too late. As the sun begins to set, casting a golden glow over the village, Kabuya approaches Nkongolo. Her aged hands tremble as she places them on his shoulder. Nkongolo, she says softly, her voice barely audible over the drums. I must speak with you. Seeing the gravity in her expression, Nkongolo steps away from the crowd. Kabuya hesitates, knowing her words will shatter his world. Finally, she speaks, recounting what she witnessed and the warning from the spirits. Nkongolo's face darkens with every word, his joy turning to disbelief, then to heartbreak, and finally to fury. Without waiting for the festivities to end, Nkongolo storms through the village, his powerful strides scattering those in his path. He finds Mwadi near the central fire, her laughter cutting off as she meets his eyes. The crowd falls silent, sensing the tension. Is it true? Nkongolo demands, his voice like thunder. Have you betrayed me with Mwamba? Mwadi's face pales, and tears well in her eyes. She drops to her knees, sobbing. Nkongolo, forgive me. I was weak. I did not mean to bring this upon us. Her confession is like a knife to Nkongolo's heart. The villagers murmur among themselves, the festive air replaced by a heavy silence. Word of the affair and the curse spreads like wildfire, casting a shadow over the celebrations. The drummers cease their playing, and the singers fall quiet. The village, once alive with joy, now echoes with whispers of betrayal and fear. The Mbui festival, meant to be a time of joy and unity, has become a harbinger of reckoning. Mwadi's tears flow freely as she prepares for the ritual, her heart heavy with guilt and fear. Nkongolo, though still devastated, watches silently, torn between his love for his wife and his anger at her betrayal. The village falls into uneasy quiet, the drums silenced, the spirits watching. The Lusambo ritual looms, its outcome uncertain, as the balance of the community and the fate of Mwadi hang in the balance. That night, the elders summon the community to the chief's palace, a sacred place where justice and decisions are rendered. The palace, illuminated by torches, is filled with the villagers, their faces somber. The chief, a dignified figure draped in leopard skin, sits at the head of the council, flanked by the elders. The elders discuss the gravity of the situation. Tshibau is not just a personal sin. It threatens the entire village. The spirits demand restitution, and only through a cleansing ritual can the curse be lifted. The Lusambo ritual, an ancient practice, is the only hope to appease the spirits and restore balance. The chief addresses Mwadi, who stands trembling before the council. Mwadi, your actions have brought shame upon your family and your people. But the spirits are merciful to those who repent. You must undergo Lusambo to cleanse yourself and the village. The Lusambo ritual is not an easy path. Mwadi is required to confess her sins publicly, an act of humiliation designed to show sincerity. She must then purify herself with sacred herbs, bathe in a river blessed by the spirits, and fast for 3 days. During this time, she will live in isolation, reflecting on her actions and seeking forgiveness from the ancestors. The elders also decree that Mwamba, as her accomplice, must leave the village permanently. His presence considered a threat to their harmony. His goods are confiscated, and he is given until sunrise to depart. As the villagers disperse, the mood is somber. Months after the Lusambo ritual, the village clings to the hope that the spirit's wrath has been averted. Life begins to return to normal, though the shadows of the curse linger. Mwadi, ostracized by some and pitied by others, strives to rebuild her life and her marriage. Nkongolo, though deeply wounded, stands by her side, his love a fragile thread holding them together. When Mwadi announces her pregnancy, the village views it as a sign of forgiveness from the spirits, a chance for a renewal. But the pregnancy is far from peaceful. Mwadi is plagued by nightmares of dark figures and whispers of condemnation. Her health deteriorates as the months pass, her once radiant beauty dimmed by constant fatigue and illness. The village midwives and Kabuya, the seer, tend to her, offering herbal remedies and prayers. Yet, they know the signs are ominous. The curse has not fully lifted. When the time comes for Mwadi to give birth, the village gathers in anxious anticipation. The night is stormy, with thunder rumbling like the voice of the ancestors themselves. In a small hut, illuminated by flickering oil lamps, Mwadi's labor begins. The midwives work tirelessly, their chants mingling with her cries of pain. Kabuya leads prayers, beseeching the spirits to spare both mother and child. The labor stretches into the early hours of the morning, growing more perilous with each passing moment. Mwadi's strength wanes, her breaths shallow and labored. Outside the hut, Nkongolo paces, his heart heavy with dread. The villagers, gathered in hushed groups, whisper prayers to the spirits, their fear palpable. Finally, a wail pierces the night. The child is born, but the midwife's relief quickly turns to despair. The infant is alive but deformed, its tiny body twisted in ways that bear the mark of Chibo's curse. Kabuya holds the child, her wise eyes filled with sorrow. "The spirits have spoken," she murmurs. The curse lingers still. Inside the hut, Mwadi lies pale and motionless, her life hanging by a thread. The midwives do everything they can, but her condition worsens. Nkongolo rushes to her side, clutching her hand, his face a mask of anguish. "Stay with me, Mwadi," he pleads, tears streaming down his cheeks. "We can overcome this together." Mwadi gazes at him weakly, her eyes filled with regret and love. "Forgive me, Nkongolo," she whispers. "I have brought this upon us." With a final shuddering breath, she slips into unconsciousness, her fate uncertain. The following days plunge the village into mourning. Mwadi, though gravely ill, clings to life, but her condition is precarious. Nkongolo, once a pillar of strength, is consumed by guilt and despair. He questions his faith in the ancestors and the rituals, feeling betrayed by the very traditions he once upheld. The village is subdued, the joyous energy of the Mbui festival replaced by a somber air of reflection. The elders call a gathering at the chief's palace to address the tragedy. The chief, his voice heavy with sorrow, speaks to the villagers. "This is a lesson for us all," he says. "Our ancestors demand respect and adherence to the laws that bind us. Tshibindi is not merely a personal sin. It is a wound that spreads, affecting all who are connected. Let this be a reminder of the importance of our cultural values." Kabuya, though heartbroken, offers words of wisdom. The spirits are not cruel, she says. They seek balance, not vengeance. Mwadi's suffering is a reflection of the imbalance we allowed to fester. We must honor the ancestors, not only in rituals, but in our daily lives. The village begins a period of penance, with collective prayers, offerings, and a renewed commitment to unity. The Mbui festival, once a time of unbridled joy, becomes a day of solemn remembrance. The drums are silent, and the songs carry a note of sorrow, a tribute to the price of transgression. Mwadi's child, though marked by the curse, becomes a symbol of resilience. Nkongolo, despite his grief, vows to raise the child with love, seeing in it a chance to heal the wounds of the past. The village, too, rallies around them, learning to embrace forgiveness and compassion. In the years that follow, the story of Mwadi and the curse of Tshibindi becomes a cautionary tale, passed down to future generations. It is a reminder of the delicate balance between passion and duty, love and loyalty, and the enduring power of the ancestors to guide and protect those who honor them. Years pass, and the once grieving village of Nkongolo finds its way back to healing and prosperity. The tragedy of Mwadi's transgression and the curse of Tshibindi become etched into the community's collective memory, serving as a timeless cautionary tale. The story is recounted by elders around evening fires, teaching the younger generations the delicate balance between human actions, spiritual realms, and the natural world. Despite the shadow of sorrow, life must continue. Nkongolo, having endured immense personal loss, gradually rebuilds his life. He remarries a kind-hearted and wise woman named Makiese, whose compassion brings a sense of calm to Nkongolo's soul. Their union is blessed with the birth of a healthy child, a symbol of hope and renewal for the entire village. This child is given a name imbued with spiritual significance, representing restoration and the enduring strength of the Luba people. Reconnecting with the spirits, the elders, guided by the lessons learned from Tshibind's wrath, lead the village in a renewed commitment to honoring the spirits. They reintroduce ancient rituals that had waned over time, emphasizing the significance of purification, humility, and respect for the spiritual guardians of the land. The Mbuyi festival, which once marked the village's connection to the ancestral spirits, becomes an even more profound celebration. The villagers gather in unity to thank the spirits, not only for the bounty of their harvest, but also for their forgiveness and continued blessings. The festival is alive with vibrant music, energetic dances, and ceremonial offerings. Traditional foods, fufu, cassava leaves, and roasted fish, are no longer just sustenance. They become sacred symbols of unity, community, and respect for ancestral heritage. Makiese's wisdom, Makiese, as Nkongolo's new wife, plays a pivotal role in restoring harmony. She becomes a mother figure not just to her child, but to the village as a whole, bridging gaps between families and teaching children the importance of humility, integrity, and spiritual connection. Through her, the women of the village learn new ways of combining wisdom with tradition, ensuring that the lessons from the tragedy are never forgotten. She also introduces a monthly gathering of women to reflect, share stories, and offer prayers to the ancestors, a tradition that strengthens bonds and fortifies the community's moral compass. Epilogue. Lessons for all generations, the story of Mwadi and Nkongolo transcends time, serving as a mirror for the human experience. A tale of temptation, consequence, and the power of redemption. The villagers find strength in their unity, resilience in their traditions, and wisdom in their trials. Visitors from neighboring regions and distant lands are drawn to the village, eager to learn about the rich tapestry of Luba culture. The festivals, the rituals, and the stories offer a gateway into the heart of the Luba people, showcasing their unique identity and the profound connections between humanity, nature, and the divine. For the younger generation, the tale becomes a vital tool for understanding the past and shaping the future. It teaches them that the values of faithfulness, respect, and harmony are not merely cultural markers, but the very foundation of their existence. The legacy of Tshibou's curse, the tragedy of Mwadi, becomes a lesson in choices and their far-reaching consequences. Nkongolo's perseverance in the face of adversity, Makiese's nurturing presence, and the community's commitment to renewal affirm that even the most broken bonds can be mended when people come together with humility and purpose. The village thrives once more, but the memory of Tshibou's curse lingers as a reminder of the sacred balance they must uphold. The Luba people's resilience is immortalized, not only in their traditions but also in their spirit. A beacon for those who seek lessons in redemption, resilience, and the enduring power of cultural heritage. Thus, the tale of Mwadi and Nkongolo is not merely a story of tragedy and restoration. It is a testament to the strength of a people who, despite their trials, emerge stronger, united, and deeply connected to the spiritual forces that guide their lives. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts about this story in the comments. What lessons did you take away from it?